What is serrapeptase? Serra enzyme has serrapeptase, which is a normally happening proteolytic enzyme, separated from the silkworm. It is used as component of a healthy and balanced day-to-day diet regimen and way of life, where it damages down specific healthy proteins by hydrolysis. The effect of negative amino acid hydrolysis implies that you could much better sustain typical body processes involving the organic healing procedure, sinus activity, fluid balance, joint mobility, post-surgical recovery, anti-inflammation, and waste and also toxin removal. Serrapeptase may aid to support as well as maintain muscle and joint wellness as well as advertise regular cardio-arterial health. Serrapeptase is refined naturally in the research laboratory with a fermentation procedure. It was originally located in the silkworm, where it is normally present in its intestine. This immunologically active enzyme is totally bound to the alpha-2 macroglobulin in organic fluids. This proteolytic enzyme manages to absorb specific kinds of healthy protein, yet striking only dead tissues. Research proposed that this enzyme in the body generates anti-inflammatory moderators that lower swelling, inflammation, and also discomfort. The enzyme contributes to an obstruction of the release of pain-inducing amines from inflamed cells. Shutting out amines cause a reduction of swelling as well as various other inflammatory reactions. It has been recommended that those with joint issues and sluggish healing, for instance, or those experiencing injury or post-operative recuperation, may gain from boosted dietary and also nutritional levels of serrapeptase. The actions of serrapeptase also appear to have an effect on mucus manufacturing via improved drainage, such as that executed in respiratory inflammation. Research suggests that serrapeptase might have modulatory results on certain acute stage amino acids that are included in the inflammatory procedure. This is validated by a report of significant decreases in C3 and C4 go well with rises in opsonizing amino acid and reductions in concentrations of haptoglobulin, which is a scavenger amino acid that inhibits lysosomal protease. The answer is Serra enzyme 250,000 at maximum strength. Serra enzyme is the serrapeptase enzyme that made the title the miracle enzyme. Its large usage throughout the previous 30 years, 23 studies, effective use by physicians throughout the world. In addition to a fantastic library of testimonies, you may locate this a worthy addition to a healthy day-to-day diet regimen. Serra enzyme 250,000 at maximum strength pills are postponed release, and also are tackled in empty tummy to ensure that they are turned on in the little intestine instead than in the belly. There are no recognized negative side effects or interactions with any type of prescription medicine or other supplements. Including 250,000 is of all-natural serrapeptase, referred to as the miracle enzyme. Serra enzyme is created to give max advantage in the minimum time. Serrapeptase gave me back my life. Short article by Jenny Pulling. Ripples on water, the myriad shapes of fallen leaves and plants. Because of my bad eyesight, I never expected to see these beauties. They were limited to my creative imagination based upon friends' descriptions. Now every little thing has altered. I am viewing the globe with fresh eyes. This imaginative description of Mike Toz's regained sight marks the most up-to-date chapter in his serrapeptase adventure. The inspiring story of one guy's success over his deadly health disorder even persuaded Robert Redfern to relabel his book The Miracle Enzyme as Serrapeptase. Claims Robert, I was finally persuaded to transform the name of guide as well as to make a going along with website www.themiracleenzyme.info when the story of Mike Toz first surfaced. It begins in December 2005. The scene, a ground-flooring flat near Manchester University. The 36-year-old sits in his wheelchair, as he has for the previous 10 years, and also wonders if he will certainly have, or wishes, one more year of life. Birthed with cerebral palsy, he is now barely able to speak, the fluid from his lungs virtually strangling him, his heart and lungs falling short. His concerned close friends are so nervous they have actually discussed exactly what setups he desires for his funeral. The turning point began January 3, 2006, when Mike was convinced to begin taking 2 Serrapeptase 2 times a day. A pal had heard how an enzyme called Serrapeptase was achieving a track record for its power as an anti-inflammatory, discomfort reliever, and also for removing inflamed tissue in the body. Exactly what had hereto is an extraordinary trip, spanning 2 years, that has actually taken Mike from a purgatory of ailment to the joy of health. He began a blog, www.serrapeptaseadventure.ws, which ended up being an ongoing message of motivation. As he says, the factor for putting my tale out there was not so much for myself, however worth it if merely a single person read it and also was convinced to try this path. Outcomes came thick as well as quick. February 24, 2006, Mike composed, "For the last 7 days, my lung feature has been excellent. It has been no lower compared to 500 liters each minute, and also normally around 530 liters. It appears to me that it may well be clearing up. My heart rate remains normal, as well as the health condition of my skin seems boosted. I have now completely quit all my prescribed medication and continuously feel more powerful, consuming and sleeping better." May 25, 2006. This is a commemorative blog as Mike explains his initially 20 actions. "For a number of weeks, I have been trying out with standing, with props, yet not had the confidence to stroll. After recovering from a tummy bug, I acquired back on my feet believing I would certainly represent a few minutes, as well as that would certainly be that. After about 5 minutes, my phone rang. Without aware thought, I found I had taken the 20 actions to address it. It was yet an additional sign I was regaining control over my health condition as opposed to it having control over me. Life, which had actually seemed to be lessening, now opened. Mike was invited on to the Power Hour, an American talk program organized by Joyce Riley. She had actually formally talked to Robert Redfern concerning assistance for spastic paralysis. He explained Mike's encounter. Claims Mike, Joyce has a strong spiritual faith. Among the questions she asked me was, "Do you count on miracles?" I replied, "If I really did not in the past, I do now." 5 months later, he created, after cautious, comprehensive checks of my heart function, blood pressure and lung function, all confirmed as regular, it has been concurred that I am very extremely unlikely to require approved medicine ever before once again. As Mike explains, there is a great deal of confusion surrounding analytical palsy. There are people who believe it is an ailment that can be healed, whereas it is a condition that, as he has actually proved, can be ameliorated. However, the significant renovation in his vision and also visual perception remains a puzzle aspect. This second year of Mike's Serrapeptase adventure has definitely been dominated by this occasion. He feels it is the most exciting as well as unexpected of all. It is apparent to me that the problems with my heart, lung function and intestinal device were most likely caused or aggravated by the medication I was offered to handle symptoms. Serrapeptase provided me a means of handling my problem without them and the opportunity to recover from their impacts. My development of depth understanding is really different. The reason I have never experienced it before is a direct outcome of the underlying human brain damages. To the very best of my understanding, it is not feasible to recuperate an ability never recently readily available. The impressive renovation in my vision remains the mystery factor. Robert Redfern described Serrapeptase as the miracle enzyme. It is a description I think is well should have. I educated you some years ago that serrapeptase is evidently active in the cleaning of coronary arteries from occluding layers. The outcomes are so amazing that also Tom Valentine reported on this progress in the U.S. DEC press after talking with numerous social events below. Serrapeptase is an enzyme created by Serratia germs surviving silkworms. With this enzyme the worms thaw in opening out of the cocoon. Unlike various other enzymes in the field of biology, serrapeptase dissolves dead cells like or for example not both silk and also apparently also fibrinoid layers in the arteries which chemically could be as compared to silk. A special problem in today's civilized culture is occluding processes in the carotid canals of the neck. Very commonly we see individuals where specialists were reluctant to run or to use drill or laser innovation such occluded carotids. The factor for this is the potential threat that off-coming particles will be pushed into the smaller analytical crafts. We have, for that reason, began to use serrapeptase in situations of intense constrictings of the carotid arteries. Primarily in patients revealing severe signs and symptoms as a result of the constricting, including amaurosis fugax, recurring blindness. The therapeutic outcomes are exceptional, absolutely life-saving. It is, nevertheless, necessary that the treatment be conducted for a long time. The very first reliable results could be anticipated after 6-8 months. Also after month 18, after the onset of the treatment, the individuals are improving. I have additionally found serrapeptase to be a remarkable element for safety and security, eliminating fibrous clogs from coronary canals, particularly the carotid canals found in the neck, which supply blood-brain. Serrapeptase is a natural enzyme generated by Serratia germs living in silkworms. Once the silkworm has actually finished its change into an insect, it uses this substance to thaw an opening in its cocoon, to make sure that it could run away. The astonishing reality is that, unlike various other organic enzymes, serrapeptase affects simply non-living tissue, like the silk cocoon. This is the reason the butterfly is not damaged. For our wellness functions, serrapeptase dissolves simply lifeless tissues such as the aged fibrous layers that congest the cellular lining of our arteries and also hazardously limit the circulation of blood as well as air to the brain. Due to this, serrapeptase is remarkably useful in keeping arterial down payments from building up once again after angioplasty, a balloon method made use of to clear an artery obstruction, or coronary bypass has actually been executed. Extremely often, cosmetic surgeons hesitate or incapable to open up partially closed carotid canals using laser surgical treatment. They are afraid that resulting particles could be pushed into smaller-sized hooking up arteries as well as cause a movement and also possibly death. In instances of severe arterial narrowing, I have actually utilized serrapeptase with outstanding, also life-saving outcomes. Many of my clients have actually revealed substantial enhanced blood circulation through their recently constricted canals, as validated by ultrasound examination. Regrettably, received cardiologists do not utilize this crucial approach in their methods.